And we are back for our second series of the night. We've got one new team here on the C stream. It's going to be Execration trying to battle over against Liquid. We saw Execration, they struggled versus TSM, their first opponent. TSM was able to get a 2-0 victory over them. So we'll see if Execration going to have a bit of a different fate here up against a new opponent. Difficult opponent that though in Liquid.
Fitting, right? C stream, C team. We want to see if they're able to right the wrongs that they made in that game number one. It kind of felt like they were still playing on the old patch, though, didn't they? They picked up a Broodmother for Palos. Obviously, nowhere near as strong as Elena as it used to be, but I think that game just came down to, had a quick look over the stats, hasn't had a chance to look at the replay, but Brawl popped off. Like, he was topping damage, net worth, kill involvement, everything across his two heroes in that game. So we'll see if it's the same outcome this game, because unfortunately for Bob, it's not like Nisha is much of an easier task.
No, not at all. So we'll see what Bob is able to do. Of course, he's a very inconsistent when the man is on, and when the man's on his heroes, and he can be very flashy and can take over games. But there are also games where he can fall short. And potentially that is the same with this Execration team as well. I mean, they've had some pretty good showings overall through all the, well, at least in the tours, being able to make it to every single major and Dream League. But once they've got there, they've bombed out inside the group stages at all of those events. Haven't even been able to make it into groups 2 for Dream League, or even just the playoffs as well for any of the majors. So we'll see. What do we feel like is the big reasoning behind that? Is it just, I don't think it can be an inexperienced thing anymore for Execration, especially with all the events they've attended this year. Is it just, potentially there's some other issues that we can't really see from these boys, or it could just be an easy thing. They just don't have the skills just yet to be able to match up against the others.
It could possibly be something that we're not seeing. For me personally, it feels like they were a completely different team when they had March as their coach. And then as soon as March was able to draw them from a team that we were thinking, just looking at that roster, right, of like all the different C teams in Division 1 for Tour 1, we were like, oh, these guys will be struggling to stay in Division 1. And then they came first, right? And so he got poached by Enigma Galaxy. And it really doesn't feel like Execration have had that same edge ever since that, right? I feel like maybe they're too insular, I think is the word to put. So like they might need like an outside perspective to be able to go away from the standard stuff. I mean, we saw it in game number 1 of their previous series, right? They were playing a Broodmother. Not really the pick for this meta right now, with how heavily she was hit with a lot of those nerfs in 7.33E.
Yeah, and with the replacement of March was Kimo, right? Who's been someone who's been really around the Execration camp for a very, very long time. So that is also not really a different opinion kind of to the team, and at least ideas on how to play the game of Dota. So we'll see though for Execration. Of course, it was just the first series loss versus TSM, so maybe just looking a little bit too far into things. We'll see what this team is able to do, but their second opponent is not going to be easy at all. But we have a draft getting underway. It's going to be Execration on the Radiant side with first pick, Liquid on the Die side with second pick.
We do have to mention as well that instead of Carlo, they are playing with Abeng as well in the position 5 roles. So it's something that Carlo never really felt comfortable playing that position 5, did he? Like it was pretty visible that he was a 4 trying to play 5, whereas Abeng is a 5 through and through, you know?
Yes, without a doubt. So we'll see how that is going to end up changing things.
Man does die a lot, though, I gotta say. Abeng, like, a lot of it is the tactical feeds, but that's a lot of gold to be giving away in this meta, where, like, kills are actually really worth it. Remember that farming meta probably about a year or so ago, where it actually just wasn't worth it to go for kills because you could get so much more farm more quickly if you just hit creeps instead? That is absolutely not the case now. So I think, again, you just need to be a little bit more adaptive to what the meta currently is. And, going for picks like the Broodmother now after it got nerfed, maybe not the best choice. And going for, this, I don't want to say suicidal style, but, going really deep in and beating your life away just for a little bit of vision, probably not as worth it anymore.
We do see, though, at least Execration going to ban out the IO. So, of course, the IO Lesh was a very difficult pairing for them in that previous series, and so Liquid just have some success with it as well, and they're going to get rid of the Primal Beast, which maybe is potentially protecting the Broodmother opener, if that is a route they want to go down still.
Possibly. I hope not.
Same.
I think. I don't know. How do you feel about this IO? I feel like it's more worthwhile banning the Lesh because Lesh is still fine on its own, whereas IO really only feels great with Lesh, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe Liquid's like the one team to still do it against because they do like a great IO Muerta pairing where, you know, Mickey can just absolutely pop off. And just looking through their past games, I feel like Mickey is one of the few people that is actually starting to pick up this hero again now that Morphling and Deucer aren't really in the pool.
Well,
Can I go for Liquid already?
well, what's the reasoning behind it?
Brood, not as great a first pick hero anymore. Timbersaw, in my opinion, one of the best heroes in the pool, and great way to be able to catch a Brood Mother who's trying to play around the tree line in both the Chakram, Whirling Death, and Firefly.
5 seconds remaining.
Need anything else?
No, I think that's pretty good. So let's see what Execration are going to try and do to close out the first phase. It's going to be a Storm Spirit. Okay, so you got a comfortable hero for Bob, which is really important thing. If it is going to be Batrider played in the mid lane, Storm is...
Yeah, mid Timber though, right? Like, and I feel like that does just fine against the Storm Spirit.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Maybe there's kill threat like if you get level 3 before the Timber, but really that's a stretch. Like I'd say, yeah, no, yes, I agree. I think this should be fine if you want to put the Timber mid.
This feels like I don't like Flaming because they're my boys. They're the Sea Boys, but it feels like a draft from like 6 months ago, right? Where you saw this. Timber wasn't known as that like mid laner just yet, and it was like, oh, we see the Batrider. Okay, we'll play Storm against Bat because it's a good lane. But I really don't feel like that's going to be the case. You know, Liquid, they've got multiple ways to catch now. They've revealed Storm early-ish. It's not like this Pugna mana battery exists anymore. Liquid are still going to ban it out just because it still exists in the game, but nowhere near as strong. But they can still go for plenty of lockdown for this Storm Spirit and do just fine.
I mean, still the Storm, right, though, is... Like, if it is going to be Timber mid, Storm should still be able to get a lot of farm. Like, it's not like it's... Like, you're going to be able to find farm, you've got some value against the Timber, like you provide a lot of magic damage early on, which can be a very important thing when you're going up against it, so...
But what if Liquid just go like Spirit Breaker, you know? It's good against Brood and Storm. And like, you'll kill Storm multiple times in the lane, you'll kill Brood multiple times off the back of that, plus the Batrider. Like, if Liquid ban out Bloodseeker, I'd say, well, it's good against Timber and Batrider already, but I think, you know, it just really leads me to believe that it'd be a great Spirit Breaker game. Maybe they would just like Dark Willow in response, but I don't know.
Think you like some other supports? You could be looking at something like a Crystal Maiden or even a Disruptor. Two of the other supports that are very good versus the Brood and also offer a little bit of control versus the Storm. So I think I'd say for Insania in particular, like he's got a lot of options here with what he's potentially able to play this game.
I think he's probably the happiest one that Undying got nerfed a lot. Like, I know it'd be Ali. He mentioned to me, man, I'm so tired. I just get given Undying every single game, and I'm so tired of it. But, well, it got nerfed, and they banned it. So he's going to get to play something a little bit different now.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm really kind of those 3 heroes we suggest in regards to Insania. I mean, there's potentially others, but I feel like they're... I really hope it's one of the 3. Alright, so we don't see it just yet. So they're going to go down the Dragonite route. So, once again, continuing with the flex.
Mm-hmm.
What do we make of the DK?
It's fine, you know, just an instant stun as well is always going to be effective. You know, Batrider, if it is being played as a support, takes a little bit of time to get into the Blink Dagger, so it's not like you can just slowly move up to a Storm Spirit. He's going to be able to get away. So I honestly see Mickey just going the same build as he did last game, you know, Midas into Blink Dagger just to secure his farm, secure his levels, and also have that pick off of the Storm.
Got some real beefy heroes now in Liquid too, with this Timber DK, so... We'll see how Execration going to be able to address that. How they can potentially bring them down. I mean, more than likely they're going to be showcasing their double support pick, the 16th, 17th.
What do you pick, though? Did they Phoenix? Do they...
Radiant team
I
pick.
think they need a bit more control. Do they, Crystal Maiden? Alright, so this is like a Shank staple, right? But
Yeah.
again, it feels like it's a Shank staple from 6 months ago.
Yeah, but Snap's
you know?
fine. It's not. It's like a.
It's fine, but like, how many other fours are you seeing play a lot of Snap?
What do you want, Ren? Like, what could they?
Maybe a Mirana
5 seconds remaining.
gives them flex with being either a 4 or 5. Gives them a little bit more invis, like getaway potential with a Moonlight Shadow. Slightly stronger in lane, I would say.
Does the Mirana offer you kill threat versus DK Timber?
The Snap?
Yeah, with kisses.
Nah.
Nah, come on, really?
Not the Timber. Timber can get away.
I very much disagree. I think if you have stuns, I think Snapfire is one of the better supports to deal with Timber.
They only have Vortex right now, is what I'm saying.
That's where you hope that they draft the second support with a stun, and they're gonna go the Hoodwink route.
I like this. This is good. You know, this is something that they actually play on position 5. It's Abeng that plays the Hoodwink the majority of the time. Sharpshooter, of course, having the break. Good against the DK, good against the Bat Rider. The Timber Saw. Just a little bit of extra control as well. And, you know, I mean, we talk about damage. Well, now they've got damage in spade on Team Liquid to be able to find out a lot of these pickoffs. So, you know, they're going to be banking on Execration making some poor moves and then just being able to react on the back of that with the Skywrath and the DK. But as soon as they get the Blink Dagger on Bat / DK, they can make moves of their own.
5 seconds remaining.
Is there even like any value, like just like because Sky is a relatively strong laner? Like, is that something they're considering here for Liquid, or is it someone who can help rotate if it's potentially going to be like a Sky Timber in the side lane? Like, what is the other value that they get out of the Sky?
I think it's just a good response to the Storm Spirit, right? Like, I don't think you're going to be playing visible in lane ever once the Storm Spirit hits like his level 7 or 8 timing, you know? You're there to be able to get that counter initiation with the Ancient Seal and to be able to find kills off the back of smokes once DK hits the Blink Dagger and just 100-0. The plus side for Execration is, if it is indeed an Abeng Hoodwink, you can just go like a lot of these early stats and really harass the Skywrath Mage out with your good attack range, with your good movement speed, and pretty solid damage against Skywrath's minimal armor.
So at the moment, I mean, you're banning out the Slark, which is a very nice lane matchup into the Broodmother. I'd probably say just a game matchup as well, even if the Brood is getting played as a 1. But what do we want from Execration? Do we feel like they're needing a different carry? Can they still go for their Tino hero? Like, what would you prefer?
Whenever I look at an Execration draft, I'm always going to be looking for, is Tino able to play Meepo? Because I just want to see it, you know? I'm not sure against the Timbersaw, though, it's the best choice. You know, he's just going to be able to absolutely shred through you, but most of the time I've seen him playing it in pubs, he gets that Aghanim Scepter on it at like 13 minutes. So you could put a lot of pressure in onto this Liquid lineup that does need a little bit to come online, you know, especially if Mickey does go this like Midas DK route, you know?
Yeah. Is this the game for it, though?
Probably not, but I want to see it anyway.
Hopefully we get it this tournament at least. Hopefully we get to see the offlane Meepo, but for this stage...
Could they Morphling on Execration? It's against the Timber. It's like one of the only things that I think really counters the Timber these days. And I know Morphling was really heavily nerfed, but feels solid-ish, right? Really throws a lot of those strengths right back at them, but does leave Broodmother kind of to the wolves in terms of what they're going to be able to play into him. Yeah, you can just run the DK mid into the Storm and be totally fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Liquid. You have so much potential to put these heroes wherever you want. I mean, Bat Rider, Timber, DK, they can all be flexed in multiple roles, multiple lanes. So it's not going to be easy for Execration to work out what they need. I guess, are there any flaws they kind of need to cover with this pick?
Execration or Liquid?
Execration.
They have very minimal frontline outside of the Storm, and even with him going in, again, you're susceptible to getting stunned, getting lassoed, getting silenced until you've got that beat keep. That's the big issue for mine. So
oh god,
I need someone that's going to do it. I mean, he has been playing it a lot. Alice has been playing the Spectre a lot in recent times, but again, slow, and against a Timbersaw, I feel like he can really, give you the business pretty easily.
I mean, sure, there's a lot of value with Haunt to get on the sky and stop the Batrider blink.
5 seconds remaining.
There's a huge question mark around the Spectre. I don't know about this hero at all. I mean, was it picked at the Bali Major? Like, at least if it was probably only one game. This is a very difficult hero to be able to pull off. And I mean, Liquid, they are a team, and they kind of have a lineup as well that can control the map at such an early stage where this Spectre might just fall very flat.
Yeah, they can just look to play fast Dodo, can't they? Like, again, DK, Batrider, plus another aggressive-ish hero. What could they think of? What if they like Lycan? They Lycan on Liquid and they just put the DK1? Howl attack damage reduction against a Spectre and a Brood feels pretty good to me.
Oh,
I'm here, baby. That's why you give me those mixed nuts.
Alright, so it's going to be Mickey that's actually playing it though. Nisha's going to pick up the DK.
Very happy I didn't say it was going to be Zai playing it, because I thought he was.
Are we expecting any difference with the item build though, for it to be Mickey playing the Lycan instead of Zai?
I honestly can't recall the last time I saw Mickey play the Lycan. Like, just
Okay.
to see personally what he does. Like, is it just going to be a try and lock in onto someone like that Broodmother? Is it going to be like just something to enable him to run in onto the backlines quite easily? Not sure. There's no real value in going like Wolf Bite or anything like that. So I think it's just going to be a pretty standard Lycan game.
Trying to see what the win rate was for Lycan at the Major, because this was
Pretty
21.
much only Liquid playing it, right?
I'll check in a second. 21 games, and I think it was a 52% win rate. So Shopify played at 6 games, Liquid played at 5, and then AG, Nouns, and 9 Pandas with 2 games and 1 game. So I thought this was a very strong hero that I got to see at the Major, and one of the heroes that, of course, Universal wasn't addressed in the patch. And if you get 2 supports that do not deal with split push, don't deal with summons, then Lycan is always going to be scary. And I think with the Universal, there's just a potential for you to play it as a carry, and we're seeing that be the case this game for Mickey as well. So this could just be like the start of the potential rise for the Lycan in this tournament in particular. He could be very, very scary, because we're starting to look for some heroes to be able to fulfill the role that the Deucer and the Morphling was as well. So we'll see if that's going to be the case this game for the boys on Liquid, because it looks like a goddamn scary Lycan game.
It does. It really feels like this might be the tournament where Lycan becomes what like Brood was in the past 2 months. You know, that universal hero that gets a lot of farm very quickly. It is just an absolute terror for supports to deal with. Plus, you also get the benefit that whenever he howls, everyone can just go, oh, ooh, like they did at Bali.
Unfortunately, people back home will not know what we're saying if they weren't there. You had to be there, guys. Come on.
Here on stream,
30
surely.
seconds to battle.
Oh, true. Hopefully, you get to live some of the experience up a little bit. Look, what are they doing here? Setting a bit of a trap, trying to bait the wolves. Shanks, just come on over, brother. Come on. Just free. Looks like a Bang knows it as well. Oh, he's gonna break.
Bang?
I don't know, man. Like you know,
I said the man dies a lot.
And well, he's gonna give over first blood as well, and they might even get a second if the micro's on point. Trying to get the wolf in front of Shanks, but they will not continue the chase. So yeah, they'll get the kill
If I had any
nonetheless.
fantasy league where you could get points for deaths, I would have locked in Arbing at first. Like, again, most of them are tactical. That was not tactical. That was just kind of giving first blood away and putting off Liquid to a really solid start.
Look at this. They're going to put the Lycan dump bottom as well. So what do we think about this with the Lycan going up against the Spectre Hoodwink and then the Timber versus the Broodmother?
I guess the Brood just wants to be a little bit more playing around that tree line, right? And Timbersaw is the one that's going to punish you at doing that. So I quite like this sort of avenue for them to be looking to go down.
What's going on, dude? Well, Boxy really might be in some trouble. Dagger along with Silken. Alice actually going to look to try and TP top. So what's the call for Liquid? I mean, Execration were the first team to use their TP, so it's going to be very easy for Liquid to be able to get the favorable lane set up. maybe it's just enough with you being down in the forcing the Brood to be in the safe lane instead. As Boxy might end up dying, although the sticks enough to keep him alive for the moment. Bang, one more right click from the tree lane. Is able to secure Execration's first kill.
But you see how great Hoodwink is at, like, against those squishy heroes like I was talking about, right? This is with a Skywrath that actually bought a Ring of Protection so that that sort of thing wouldn't happen, and Abeng is still able to kill it.
Alright, is this going to be what's happening? Some lane swapping shenanigans.
Yes. Musical lanes, let's go.
Does Tino go through? No, he doesn't. Alright, so the team top. Alright, this could be a bit of a messy setup in the lanes. At least mid lane is not going to be chaotic. You've got Nisha's DK up against Bob's Storm Spirit. This should be a fine lane for either. I'm a bit surprised that Nisha's struggling with the last hits.
I mean, like you said, Bob is a very capable mid laner. He just needs to be on that day. So, oh, that's a pretty key kill that you're able to get. Although Zai dive in the tower.
He did TP.
Yep.
Actually,
No, he twin gated.
Oxy now is going to get chased down as well. And he's able to get a couple more right clicks off. Not to be, so it looks like he's okay. Yeah, I saw him gate. I'm like, I thought he TP though because he didn't have a teleport as inventory before he died, but no, that's back up. Meanwhile, Mickey now top lane's getting chased down. Another blood grenade deep under the tier 1 tower is... These lanes are so chaotic, but Execration able to get a couple kills as a result of this.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is they thrive in chaos to Execration. That's the big thing, right? They want to make sure. Did you see what they listed down as their motto?
No, I did not.
It's like all heart, no brain, is what their motto was. Which honestly could not find a better fitting motto for the team.
Do you continue the lane swaps? Like, what happens? Palace down to bottom now. Again, you're going to have the Brood into the Lycan. Who's actually going to be happy with this? Insania's going to be able to get a decent amount of damage here. Actually, bottom where the kills are potentially going to be. Zai should still end up going down. Wants to deal as much as he can before they secure the kill.
Foxy is 4th on net worth at this point in time. Just thought I'd let you know.
God damn it.
No, he's good, but... Oh, man. Up Scarlet on these cores.
Well, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with that net worth, though. Oh, this is the item that he currently has queued up, though, from the Skywrath Mage. See what about... Oh, nice sidestep. And Abeng should probably end up going down, so Boxy's got a dominating streak already.
Screenshot it. Oh, what a player. What a player. Yoink away that bounty rune as well after blocking up one of the camps. Very nicely done. Get the Void Stone as well. Well on his way towards the Parvis.
Is his mid lane this bad?
No, I don't think so. I've just been playing quite well.
Yeah, very impressed. Man, Nisha got none of those losses onto the tower.
I love mid laners that do that, or anyone in the lane actually. Just like, you don't need to get the denies, it's just making sure that they don't get the last hit, you know, just attacking at these really awkward intervals.
Yeah, I mean, he's being a huge pest in this lane currently. Very impressed with Bob showcase early on.
He got rid of another rage creep too. Player.
And we'll see what he is that he does.
I mean, you know, I love content, and Execration did a video of their own about replying to some Facebook comments, and we're on European time zone, right? I'm not sure how much a lot of the European viewers watch Southeast Asian Dota, but the people that see Dota the most are C fans, so they really let the players have it in that interview, and good on them. They did respond to it as actually top lane. Dive down a little bit here, but
oh,
be a weird way.
And you're starting to get to the stage where Zai is able to play his lane solo. So we're going to be able to see Boxy make a lot of rotations off the kills that he got earlier. He's a pretty high level 4 already. Bob is not going to be an easy kill though. He's going to be able to get a TP out of Shanks as well to try and refill up some of the mana.
Helps about for sure. I mean, this is Nisha already starting to put a lot of that pressure onto the tower. Very healthy creep wave as well that he's got coming through. So right now Boxy wonder if this Parvis is actually going to be a little bit of a surprise to them. Thinking that they can make a kill attempt happen onto Nisha, but not in actuality. Regen rune as well that Bob's not going to be able to play with. Doesn't have any mana.
And they get the kill along with the courier.
Has been killed.
So you'll be able to continue to chase. Firefly's about to expire, but they've still got another round of spells from Boxy.
Under attack.
Nice
Another
try.
kill to add to the tally as well.
Each creeper's still alive. He's actually dragging it a little bit to the side here.
Bottom Palace is... this should just be a kill. Zai was able to tank up the tower. Palace are going to try and get Insania before they bring him into the grave, but it's not going to be the case, as this is starting to get pretty scary. I mean, this is a pre-level 6 Timber, and once he gets this, Spectre cannot play bottom. Brood can't play that lane as well, so how are you going to be able to kind of play these side lanes? It's going to be up to the Storm Spirit to try and offset this advantage, as Bob uses a lot of mana early on. Zai's able to cut down the Acorn shot, so Wishback will not land, and beautifully done. Zai, quick on the fingers, gets out of danger.
It's a bottle refill at least from the Spectre. He's gone Meteor Hammer on Palace. what do you reckon about that? I mean, you talk about stuff from a year ago. This is something really that was a little bit popular around that time, but, you know, Blade Mail as well, you might think that they'd be able to provide a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, I wonder why he's deciding on this instead of the Blade Mail, but we'll see.
No.
We shall see. Yep, should be able to get the kill. First shapeshift off the game for Mickey. Meanwhile, mid lane as well, but the action's continuing on. Bob's gonna be okay for the moment with 2 supports standing nearby. He's gonna be able to offset that attempt for Liquid, but Bob is once again pretty much out of resources. Got a couple of bottle sips to work with. But still, this Elder Dragon form has got half duration left, so Liquid are going to continue to put the pressure on.
Under attack.
He's playing for a haste rune or something. Zai's hit up onto his level 6 as well. Doesn't quite have the mana to kill Palace on the bottom side. They do get a haste rune, but it's actually Boxy that claims it.
Nah, it doesn't matter though, because he'll be able to chase down
Harvest,
Shanks. It's just putting in so much work. Nisha, ever so survivable with the extra barrier. They give no cares about the tower. Over to Bang they go. Zai even gets a solo kill onto the bottom tier 1. This could start to get out of control.
I mean, I'm not sure if waiting for the Bloodstone is even... the Void Stone is going to be too much value for this Spectre, right? I think he needs to get into that crowd, or he needs to go into... The Vanguard's not really going to save him against the Lycan, but not the other heroes. There's actually Storm TPing down to the bot side, trying to kill Zai. I mean, he knows he's low-ish. This would be a big kill.
Should be able to get it as well. Nice timing with the Vortex. Drag back. Stops the chain away. So that is a huge kill for them to find. Bob gets a solo kill. A lot of gold as well is going to be given over. And very much needed, considering he had a great start to the lane, but as soon as we saw Niche hit level 6 and the supports start to get involved as well, he was really struggling to play that lane. You're even going to get a nice deny on the mid tier 1 tower. So, and even Tino takes top. So some things starting to go the way of Execration.
Has fallen.
Lancer Pursuit as well on Bob, so just that extra 200 mana for a Storm Spirit feels amazing. She really doesn't feel pressured at all to have to play defensively with all the towers that they've taken early on. I mean, you've still got Boxy ahead of the Spectre on net worth at this point in the game, and Nisha not even going for the Midas first. He wants to just get that early Blink Dagger and put pressure onto the heroes that have the potential to come back into this game in the Storm and the Brood. He's got the Haunt available now on Palos to potentially get out of harm's way.
Oxy runs into a couple. Gonna take a fight around this power rune. Will be top. Very important for Bob to be able to continue to pick up these runes. So you even see Tino look to swing on over to just help secure that. So you've got the Arcane now to work with. Let's see what they're going to be able to do on Execration. Kiss is going to be used along with the Horn. It's a pretty heavy commitment, and now with the Sharpshooter break, they'll probably get Nisha as well. So the ultimates is all they needed to turn this around. Nisha's going to be able to shrug off some of the damage, but it's not going to be enough with no one nearby to be able to help him get some separation. But it does mean Zai's got nothing to fear, along with Mickey. We've got a shapeshift over from the right side. There's still, I mean, Zai should be able to catch up to Tino in between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Broodmother's health pool is going to be cut away into pieces as Execration, I mean, you do see that they still have a little bit of fight there, but it has to result in a lot of ultimates used to get those kills, and once they're on cooldown, it's going to be easy for Liquid to clean up.
Yeah, it really feels like now is the period where Abeng just needs to be playing consistently with Bob, you know? Maybe build up some stacks for him, let him get into this next item, but as soon as that sharpshooter is available and you've got the mana, you got to be going for kills. So maybe Abeng just looking to patrol up on this top side, set up some vision to allow them to go for that next kill attempt. But it really doesn't feel like Liquid are going to show anyone up on this top side of the map. I mean, they've already lost the tier 1 tower, and they've got control over the rest of the remaining 2/3. So I'd be very surprised if someone gets caught up here, unless it's like Insania. And really, if you're committing that heavily for a Bat Rider, it feels pretty bad.
How do we feel about Tino's item build this game? I mean, considering he's really, I mean, second in net worth. He's having a very good game, even though those 3 deaths. But do we like that all this gold is kind of going into this right-click Echo Saber build?
I think it's the only way that you can sort of play this. You know, the Spectre doesn't have too much of a game, and
Nisha
actually found out him.
That they have Mystic Flare, decent chunk of damage. Of course, Insane is going to be able to drag him back. Level 7 on the Bat Rider. Drums completed as well. We've sung a lot of praises to Box's early game, but Insania's done a really good job to keep up his own farm. He's been taking stacks, taking aggressive jungle camps in Execration territory. So he's going to be a really big issue for Execration as well.
Yeah. It really just doesn't make too much sense to go this aura build on the Broodmother, right? Like, even playing it from the off lane, they've got such a good mix of damage on Team Liquid between physical, magical, and even pure damage that, you know, a pipe or whatever else isn't really going to change all that much. So I think he just needs to say, look, Palace really doesn't have a game for now, so I've just got to give myself as much kill threat as possible to make some space for him so that eventually he can come back into this game.
But it's gonna take so long, man. Like, what even item do we need on him to be at a stage where he's like, all right, like, maybe I'm strong enough to provide some impact?
Radiance? I don't know. It's gonna take a while, that's for sure. Nice to be able to disable Blink Daggers. Nice to be able to avoid some of that physical coming out from the DK and the Lycan and the Wolves, and even some magic damage to be able to do something to the Timbersaw is quite hard, and the Shags.
It's going to continue to be the case. Very nice micro out of Mickey. Might be in some danger. I don't know if they have the damage. 2100 health. It's a big one along with the healing Lotus. And yeah, Mickey, he shrugs it off and ends up turning. Rips apart the life of the Hoodwink. Now Bob as well, who was able to dodge the Dragon Tail. So as a result, Bob should get out of danger.
And they just missed that sharpshooter as well, so he feels totally confident just to continue to go in. He might not have died, but he might have been forced to go back there on Mickey, but instead they just get a kill for free. Once again, force Bob back to base. This is not where you want to be playing as the Storm Spirit. Double damage in that mid-river, though. They're going to see it. I wonder if Bob doesn't even have the TP to quickly get out to it either. Might just deny it with one of your wolves or something. But a slower paced game does favor Execration. So if Liquid get bogged down and with just not doing all that much, just farming away, you'd have to say Execration are going to be feeling relatively satisfied with that. You know, he's going into the Aghanim Scepter next on Palace. Don't hate it. Going to allow him to, you know, tank up a little bit, maybe make some of these kills happen with the Storm Spirit, but it's going to be a while until he gets to that stage.
Or bottom lane. Lasso out from Insania. Palace gonna try and play him with a horn. He goes up to top. Anisha and Box there with a ready. They've got the damage. Maybe Palace. No way, Palace. He's gonna be able to live through it all. Oh, that is a big double kill. Bob gets involved as well.
All heart, no brains, man. That's all it is, right? He gets caught out, gets out on about 50 HP, goes top, gets caught in a Mystic Flare, Ancient Seal combination, and they're still able to find something. They had no idea that they were camping around that Twin Gate either. They've just put down this vision to the south side of where Bob is farming, in this top side of the map. They probably don't secure those kills. Inspector doesn't get away if you don't have that DD. Really, once again, emphasizing the importance that Bob has been able to claim the past few.
What do we feel like is the call out of Liquid now with how the previous fight just went? Because still, this is a team that can continue to play very aggressive and try and occupy a lot of the territory out of Execration.
I think you want to go, but you could just wait for Nisha to get his Assange, right? He's 400 gold away, and right now his main job is just to keep the pressure back defensively.
Gonna be able to find the break out of the sharpshooter. Zai does get the chain up to the high ground. The team is starting to funnel into the area. Nisha's going to be able to get the initial stun. The follow-up will be there as Zai. Well, we saw previously Spectre had enough health pool to survive, and this time it's going to be the Timber, and all the boys are there to clean up as well as 3 heroes go down. A tier 2 tower now is going to be under assault.
Shanks was just slightly off the mark with that Fire Snap cookie. Might have been able to take out the Timber Saw. Would have been a really valuable kill as well. 3, 3, and 8 at this point, but plenty of net worth on the Timber. Be able to bring that back your way, but instead, 0 for 3, you lose a tier 2 tower. Spectre has even less space to be able to farm, and looking at the Spectre, they might be able to get a kill, but it's just on Insania, and Zai is angry.
And he's going to be able to take that anger out onto Palos. The TP would be able to find it. My god, that was close though.
Move their vision as well, though. And the map is completely dark for Execration. Really not what you're wanting to have for your team. Absolutely not what a Storm Spirit wants to be able to play around with either. You know, you need to be able to have that thing that enables you to go for these jumps and these kills. So off the back of that, they must be saying, look, we just don't have enough damage quite yet. Pure damage coming through from the Spectre when she's able to join in. That could be the difference maker. But Storm Spirit, he needs level 12. He needs this the Kaya at least to be able to make a few extra plays.
It's going to take some time.
Mech done.
Well, they'll see
Shanks.
Kino farming out. Even going to run into a bang as well. A little bit awkward use of the flame break. Can get the teleport very close. And Senya nonetheless will be forced to use the lasso to be able to stop that one short. But it does drag.
That's the death I like, though,
yeah.
on Arbing. You know, like, that's the tactical death. That's the one that drags them away. They'll see a recently killed creep there inside of the camp on Insania, and, well, the spiders... Tino is just back farming inside of his own jungle for now, but again, it's space.
What if he goes down, though, but we'll be able to get the teleport away. This Timber hero still... I mean, it's just
kind of nutty, isn't it?
Yeah, just the first game I've seen it of off the patch, but it still does feel pretty goddamn strong.
Fairly tough. It decreased its damage from Timber Chain by 10, and the reactive armor is down by 0.1 per stack.
Can't forget the movement speed nerf. Palos?
Oh, yeah, 5 movement.
Oh, nice timing out of the Ancient Seal. They're going to have the damage before the Haunt, though. Steps out of the Mystic Flare. Palos okay. They are smoking across the map, though, from Execration. We're going to see if they can cut off Liquid. Looking to try and re-enter their own jungle. Zai's a difficult kill. With the ultimates, they might be able to bring him down, though. Bang's going to be the first point. Oh, it doesn't land the bushwhack, which might be an issue now as Zai still in some trouble. They're able to get the break, and that'll be enough to secure the kill as Liquid. They're going to start to bring some members over to get some revenge. Oh, awkward timing out of Nisha's blink, though. They'll get the zip away. They'll be forced to turn to the easy target out of our bang, but still, it's not going to be easy. The combo was off the mark. Blink's going to be back up in a couple seconds, though, from Nisha, so they should be able to close the distance and at least get one rebuttal kill. That will be all, though.
You would hope so. Tino's going back into enemy territory.
Oh. Ooh, have they got vision? They do. Oh, no.
I'm not sure what he was doing, man. He just went in way too deep. I mean, at least gives them the space that you've got the Aghanim Scepter now finished up on Palos. He was there for the assist.
Bob might be in trouble. Got no mana, and Nisha's hunting. Like, ooh, Insania's pretty close as well, Bob. Vortex last second, it's not going to matter. And now, yeah, the Hoodwinks here can get the break as Palos got the damage by himself, though. Nisha's going to be forced to activate the BKB. He's going to turn as well. He feels strong enough with the reinforcements. Nisha wants to go to the Snapfire instead, and Dragon Tail sets up for the Mystic Flare. They're going to try and take the fight on Execration. It's a hell of a pushback. But Zai is here, and now they've used every single spell, and it means the Timber Saw can look to reign supreme. They're going to have no way to address Zai. Combos out, damaged in quick succession, and Palos will be cut down as Zai is licking his lips with the gold and experience that is shortly claimed. Meanwhile, dude, Mickey got a top tier 2 tower.
Of
So,
course he did.
oh god.
Yeah. Just like in things, Necrobook doesn't need to exist in the game. This is still what you're able to do without Helm of the Overlord, just with your own raw strength. Now he's got that even lower cooldown on the Shapeshift as well, being level 15, so really feels to me like they're just about ready to try and close this one out. DKB heading into the Manta style, or the DK might want to just finish up the Yasha first before they do fully commit with a smoke. They've got everything they could possibly want.
Plus
And a
Roche.
gem picked up from Insania plus Roche.
That is, yeah, that's the only thing they haven't got just yet, and you have to say with it being down bottom, that is definitely going to be the next objective for Liquid. We even see they're kind of starting to funnel down to this area, so all the lanes in a pretty good position. Ready to have a decent ward, though, by this tier 1 tower. So will they know what's going on, but can they do anything about it, though, is the real question.
It almost feels like they kind of have to do something right now. I'm not sure Tormentor is the best choice for them, but Zai's going to have a heart pretty soon on this Timbersaw. And yeah, you weren't killing him before, and well, you're going to have even more difficulty doing it after.
Well, that being said,
Go
though,
into the Lotus after that as well.
you do at least have the Ag Shard on a bang, so it's a pretty decent shard. You're able to buff up all the damage, but yeah.
Oh, the
like
wolf. See that? They smoked with the wolf just following them.
They're even going to scan just to confirm as well. So Roche will go down, and they're going to be able to contest. They instantly look to smoke out. They've got a really good deep ward inside the jungle. Scary
He's got to
spot.
be careful. He's the one holding the gem. Doesn't want to get quickly picked
He's
off here.
tanky though with the pipe. They're going to try and blow him up
Then
to
pop
stop
it.
it. Meanwhile, over to the southern side, the Hoodwink's gone. Now everyone else is going to be chased down. Shanks will not be able to live to see another day, and Artino as well. Going to try and run through the trees, do whatever he can.
Bob stole the gem. Mission accomplished.
Alright. Snatch and grab. Not too much mana though.
I'm over here.
Should be fine unless they can get the harpoon, but Shapeshift's about to be over.
I mean, Mickey... No, actually, it was Mickey doing it last time. Nisha's playing the DK. About to say, they weren't hesitant to dive past the throne in the previous game we saw, but yeah, this time around, they're going to play it a little bit more measured with that Shapeshift just about to run out. They got 4 minutes to be able to close this one. Have to wait for the Manta style on Nisha.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Jesus, dude.
Middle tower
Oh,
has
Alice. Instant scepter to get away. They're going to try and go for Mickey mid. 2700 health they have to go through, even forcing the Mortimer Kisses as well. Mickey's still in some danger as Nisha tries to offer some assistance. They're going to be cautious how far they step out of the map though in Execration as Zai is looking to cut off the path. Tina will go down to the south instead. They might be able to get up bang, but that is a pretty big victory. It does not matter if the Hoodwink goes down. You lose the Aegis, which was a big addition for Liquid's potential to be able to close this game out.
Oh boy. I'm still...
bottom tower is under
I'm finding it hard for an
Yeah.
avenue for them to get back into this. I mean, the Lincoln Sphere, it's going to be nice, I guess, against what Liquid have to throw against them. This is for Bob, by the way. But, I mean, you've still got multiple ways to be able to stun him up, right? You've got the last, you've got the Ancients, you've got the DK stun, and you don't have a rack, very short.
But they might just go bottom as well. They might just get the kills instead as Nisha. They can dive under the tier 4 tower. There's going to be nothing that is stopping Liquid from getting kills and then going back towards the objectives. Bob will try and be a bit of an issue. They want to deal with the Sky. They feel like Box is an easy
Thank you,
target
boy.
to get the numbers advantage, but that is not the case. Box is still alive, and he's soaked up all the damage to enable the cause to stand strong and be able to clean up. Bob, he'll be able to get the zip on the high ground. Nisha trying to close the distance. Should be able to catch up to him in a second. Meanwhile, Zai inside the base runs into a bang. And meanwhile, Bob, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. They'll see him in the tree line. These are 4 heroes down without a buyback. Full set of barracks mid and onwards to the next they go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wouldn't fault them if they called GG just here, right? Maybe just wanting to fight it out. I mean, this is... They have to play 5 play-in stage games and series. Every single one is going to count, so a surprise victory somehow come from behind, but it's already 20k at 26 minutes, so I'm finding it hard to see how they're going to be able to come back into this one.
Yeah, I am as well. Oh, Carlos?
Wanting that initiation to come so the Storm is freed up to have a bit of an easier time. Start the fight early so Bob could just zip in straight from the fountain.
Here he comes. Nisha tries to predict with the blink. Bob's used all his mana. He's out now. I mean, Tino's out of health as well. And yeah, the G's are coming. And there they are. Double for Bob, double for Tino. And that's going to be all she wrote. Liquid, a very dominating Game 1 performance from them in their second series.
Was for sure. And this is why I think Timbersaw is still a busted hero, just because they've got so many options to be able to... well, sorry, there aren't as many options now to be able to deal with it now that the Morphling is gone. I feel like Morphling would have had the similar issues that the Spectre did, but once you get the Aghanim Scepter, you actually have some of that turnaround potential, right? You're not stealing, of course, as many of his stats, but you've still got that great reactive armor Aghanim Scepter to be able to play around with. So the fact that this Spectre was just way too passive for what I feel the lineup that they had, it was a bit of an issue for them.
I think it also goes back to the lanes, right, and the setup where we saw that Timber was able to... I mean, it was always going to happen, but Timber's able to play the solo kill the Spectre even before... I think actually it was with a +1, but it was before level 6. And then as soon as I get Chakram, Spectre can't play that lane. So all of a sudden you have a carry who can't farm the jungle, can't play in the lane, which he very much needs to. You can't put the Brood there, you can't put the Storm there. Like, how do you start to play the map? It looks very awkward when you've got a Sky that has a bunch of kills and an early Parvis. I mean, we saw what the Parvis was able to do as well mid-year. Like, Nisha, even though he really struggled in that lane in regard to, like, the CS char, all they needed was 6 and some rotations, and then that mid lane was also then unplayable. So all of a sudden you got 2 lanes that you can't put your cores in.
It was kind of rough, for sure. I mean, the Parvis, of course, is just buffed up even further by, just how tanky the DK was. He was the one that they were making a lot of plays around, him and the Timbersaw. And it just felt like they didn't have any avenues. I think 14 deaths in a, how many minute game? 26.5-minute game?
14?
Yeah, the man dies a lot. I said it at the start, and I say it for good reason. I think 1, maybe 2 of those deaths were, like, tactical. But giving up the first blood to Mickey, who was already primed to have a good game on this last overall pick Lycan, was certainly not the way to start out this campaign. And, well, hopefully for Execration, they're able to adapt, and they're able to modify their playstyle to something a little bit more modern, or, again, do the thing that Liquid do against a lot of teams. Play this cheesy style of Dota. Go for the Marcy, Visage, Luna sort of style of build, where you're able to just storm down a bunch of towers and don't have a response to it.
Yeah, they're going to need a... They're going to need to do it fast, because this is still getting to a stage where, yes, it does need to be said that at least with the planes, every single team is going to have an opportunity, whether you don't make it in the top 2 to automatically qualify to groups, you at least will still be able to play 1 best of 3 to potentially make it, but you want to make sure you and at least even you play that series, you have some confidence, you have some good games. But the moment this is not the start that Execration have been hoping for. They're going to start 0-3. There's still 1 more game in this series, so we'll see if they're going to be able to make amends and tie up our second series of the night. But that is going to be a difficult feat, especially with how strong Liquid looked in that game 1. But all our questions soon to be answered after this break.
مستمتع وتلاقي الوجبة جاية على الأصول. واو يجيك العيش هش طالع من الأوفن والدجاج يقرمش just the way I love it. وتسوي كده وتسوي كده وتسوي كده مع الحشمة. وإن تبغى راب خفيف أجيب تويستر. أنا أجيب لي وجبة الزنجر بس كله يجيب اكسترا تشيز على الكرانشي تشيكن في السنتر. حطلب باكت حطلب زنجر حطلب مايتي حطلب تويستر. جيب له باكت جيب له زنجر جيب له الأصلي جيب له تويستر. Delicious. Yeah, yeah.
A stellar performance from Liquid gives them a game advantage in our second series of 9. Execration, they needed to pull something out of the hat. They need to do it pretty goddamn fast as well. There are not many games left, and their opponents are still very difficult that they have to go up against too. So, we've, I think in particular, spoken a lot about how maybe some of their heroes are a little bit outdated, at least in the type of drafts they're running, the heroes that they are liking. So, let us see. Maybe Chemo can whip them into action. I'd say he probably helps with the draft as well. So maybe he's looking to try and change up the ideas, at least heading into game 2.
So there is something going in their favor.
Okay.
All 3 of their previous games, they've had first pick. This is the first time they've had second pick. So hopefully for Execration, they can at least get the lanes going a little bit further in their favor. I still want to see that Timbersaw getting banned out. I think it's first pick worthy overall. So yeah, just look to remove it. Get that out of there. And, if Execration want to still try playing like normal-ish Dota, by all means do it. At least you've got second pick to get the better edge off of a lot of these lanes. I think second phase, I want to see them ban out the Dragon Knight as well, just because we've seen Team Liquid use it with really, really good flexibility. But if they want to go full meme, I need to see something like a Marcy Batrider in the first phase. Just Marcy because they can flex it to a core role, but we've seen Shanks play it as well. And it leaves you the openings to go Batrider as an initiating position 5. You can go the Visage 3. You can go the Luna 1. You can still make it work, But I think they just got to try and keep their options as open as possible.
All right. Well, let us see how they're going to set themselves up with a successful draft. The big question as well, do they go back into the IO ban here? Well, not the Chen ban?
Dire team pick.
Insania likes it a lot.
But he hasn't played it a lot recently.
Yeah, in pubs. He's been spamming pubs, man. He's done I counted 55 in the last 8 days that he has been spamming. Yeah, man's been playing a lot. And top 2 easily for him were Chen and Enchantress. So again, so his top 4 heroes, Chen, Enchantress, Batrider, Enigma. And Zai's heroes, Lycan, Primal Beast, Broodmother, Enigma, Timbersaw, Visage. So these are all push, play aggressive style heroes. That's why I'm leaning so heavily into that, and it's why Execration have expanded a ban for it. They clearly think that Bob's Ember Spirit is going to be enough to be able to deal with this Leshrac. And, they've gone for the same sort of counter to the relocate as Entity tried to do with Fishman playing the Silencer. But I'm going to need to see some solid ways to be able to keep those lanes shoved away. They almost were able to do it on Entity, but, Liquid, they're just going to put Execration to the test.
Dire team ban.
I think you got to be cautious heading into the second phase. There's a potential for Liquid to run the Leshes in the safe lane and give Nisha the DK once again. I think it matches up.
Ban it. They have to ban it. Surely.
Yeah.
It's just another super strong push hero. Just ban it,
Yeah.
DK, Visage, out of there.
5 seconds remaining.
I do agree. So once again, Liquid are going to ban the Drow. So it looks like with it's always a good way to when you have a team go for a style of draft like this where they IO Lesh, this is their game plan. And you see them instantly respond with these bans. They obviously feel like these are the better ways to be able to address it. So you just long range, high range, right click damage with Lesh having a lot of issues in regards to the armor pool. Or of course the Terrorblade matchup can go a little bit back and forth, but we see that along with the Drow Ranger. We'll see what else they want to look to get rid of now.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically they're getting rid of things that either go Skadi or have an inbuilt Skadi-esque thing like the Drow does with their Ags, with their Hypothermia. So they just wanted to remove those from the pool. Probably, you don't need to get rid of AA. Silence is already there. There's plenty of people that can build the Shivas, so I don't think you need to worry about that too much. Sure, just high damage is really what they're looking to get rid of here.
We'll see if they want to go back into the Tusk as well for Liquid. I think in that game in particular, there were maybe some other melee position 4s they could have potentially been preferring besides the Tusk, but we saw Boxy have a pretty good game on it overall, and is one of the better position 4 Tusk out there as well. So Execration, though, will be the Rubik route.
Can I say I hate this?
Yeah, I don't actually I'm a pretty big Rubik fan. I think your Lesh abilities are great to steal, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just
You're playing with a Silencer Rubik support duo when
Yeah.
there's still plenty of pushing heroes left in the pool, including
no, I
a
agree.
DK that can destroy the Ember in lane.
I really hope they DK. I think I'd be very convinced that Liquid would win this game if there's a DK. It bodies the Ember Spirit mid. Nisha has a great Dragon Knight. They probably won't reveal it. I mean, you could probably reveal it now because there's still a lot of flex overall, but there's one of those pushing heroes like you mentioned, and again, a lot of flex, and both Rubik and Silencer don't really deal with the summons, so this could be another very quick game unless Execration with the last 2 picks can find a way to address that.
I mean, Underlord is the pick for me that Execration are going to need to get. Just the Pit of Malice is so good at locking both the Lycan and the Leshrac in place. Lycan doesn't really want to go to the BKB. Ooh, okay, they really just feel like the Ember Spirit's the hero that they need to deal with. I was wondering what they would be considering for that, just because the one thing that Liquid were lacking was like a way to find a pick-off and then use that to move into a push, you know? There's the Underlord. Makes total sense, right? Even just against the physical damage that Lycan's being able to output, the Atrophy Aura feels super nice. But at least this time around for Liquid, unless they like win a team fight early on with Execration putting themselves in a poor position, they can't just like walk up into a tower anymore until Lion has Blink Dagger. Once Lion has Blink Dagger, game completely changes. Blink, Hex, Stun, dead, and then you take a tower super easily, right? But until that point, it really relies on Execration to make a mistake. So I wonder if Liquid are going to go for a last pick hero that like it creates a bit of chaos around the map, you know? So honestly, I wouldn't have hated something like a Naga Siren for them. Even though it can be slower, I still feel like you're able to just win one team fight and like have 3 waves shoving in, you know, and you can't deal with all of them.
Of course, at the moment, Liquid are going to need to reveal the flex, more than likely out of the Lycan. Is there a preference?
DK though, right? And then you don't reveal the flex.
Yeah. I would definitely prefer that. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I thought if they were going to do it, they would have done it already. So, do we prefer the Lycan as a 1 or a 3? And then...
10 seconds.
I don't think it really matters, to be honest. Like...
5 seconds remaining.
Well, I think you just want to keep your options open, and then whatever they pick last, they're just going to be like, well, all right, who cares? And we'll throw the Lycan there if it's slightly better, or if we need a little bit more survivability, we'll throw the DK there. Execration have kind of done them a few favors with allowing the DK or the Lycan to be in the side lane, in the position 3 role, excuse me, by banning out the Monkey King and the Slark. Obviously, they're good against Underlord too, but feels a bit odd to me still.
Dire team pick.
Okay. Sure.
Why not?
Lock in onto the Underlord.
And still, who knows where this Razor is going. So, all the Lycan.
Not a bad lane. IO Razor. Plenty of movement speed. Always able to get that static link off. So now you really need to pick a position 1 on Execration that's able to, like, move effectively in a lot of these team fights. Like, I don't think you can Morphling. It's just way too slow. But what else is there? You know, there's a Faceless Void, slow. There's a PA, slow.
Yeah.
Can you think of much else? Because I can't. Ricky? But again, what does it do?
No, I don't... Because you need damage. You're currently lacking that. You need a way to take objectives, because you do not have that. You need a
I
way...
think they're going to PA. I don't like it, but I think they're going to PA.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't like it either, but...
You can see where I'm going with it, at least. Quick pickoffs onto the Io and Lion.
Yeah.
You know, quick damage. You're able to get away from a static link in lane.
Yeah, but I think we both...
I don't have confidence in the Silencer Rubik support duo at being able to stop the push and allow someone like a PA or a Void or a Ricky or anyone to get to their timings that they need to truly feel like a threat.
Yeah, that's a huge issue. Like, I don't think PA would get there, but like you said, I don't think a lot of heroes are going to get there. So, it's a very difficult last pick for Execration. Again, like we said, they kind of need to cover a lot of bases here with this Palace here.
They're taking their time, that's for sure. They are a little bit stumped as well with this Razor pick. And I mean, it's one that could play pretty quickly too. You know, you just get into like an Aghanim Scepter.
Select your heroes.
It's okay. I don't mind
Against
it.
the Lycan, it feels nice. But again, like, at least you're able to farm a bit quicker than all those other heroes that we were saying, right? So when you do join a fight, maybe you blow someone up, but what's it going to require? Like, Harpoon, Blink Dagger still, for them to like try and get on top of Mickey and just make him explode. But then, you know, you've got Hex, Stun on Boxy to make sure that doesn't happen. I don't know. Feels weird to me.
I actually think like this is probably one of the better picks they could have gone for. I think you have a lot of control with the Ember Rubik Underlord. You're not too worried. Like, you've a lot of physical damage first to Lesh, which you're able to blow him up. Of course, you offer a lot of AoE damage and control, so you're a pretty good matchup versus the IO. Just the big question for me is that are you going to have a jungle to be able to farm, and how active a Liquid going to be able to get? Because, of course, Sven, you do not play well from behind. Like, this is a hero that needs an item advantage without a doubt, because having that innate farming mechanic with the cleave. So if you fall behind this game, it's just over without a doubt.
Rubik and Silence are not known as like the best stackers either for the Sven to be able to pick up a lot of that quick farm, and they're probably going to be pressured a lot in the lane as well, because it's a Mickey Razor. So you could put that against the Sven, it's going to do just fine. You could put that against the Underlord, it's going to do just fine. You know, you're going to be able to just keep following both of those targets if the IO is tethered together with it as well. Honestly, it could even be the Lion, you know, just that stun to keep them held in place, allow that static link to really do work. So the big issue I have for mine, on top of everything that I've just talked about already with Execration, and we sound like such haters, but this Liquid draft is just really good, I think, is the thing that's the takeaway from this. And I think Palos is going to have like a double-edged sword, that if he jumps on one target that gives really high value, then another's going to be able to counter immediately what he does. You know, if he jumps Lion, he's getting static linked. If he jumps Razor, then he's getting stunned.
They do at least have a first blood. I guess just too close, didn't get the tether away. Sorry, didn't get the tether distance, but it was Bob that finds first blood.
Easy game for Execration.
Alright.
30 seconds to battle.
We'll have to deny their own room, but Bob is about to have a bottle to work with, and overall, like, it's a pretty good Ember game. Like, you do have to be worried about the Lion. You got to be very worried about the Lion, and then, you know, that could be enough to change it up for like the Lesh rack. But overall, like, if Bob can get off to a decent start,
He's gonna be tempted. See it?
The battle
yeah, he
begins.
does.
Oh, no, he doesn't. It's nighttime. And that's 4 bounties for Liquid.
4? I see 3. It's okay.
I
understand.
see a sentry ward. Yeah.
That's right.
They got 4 kills on things. Or 4 things on things.
Yeah, fellas is... Okay, apparently Rubik died. What was that? Is that a couple of blood grenades? Let's see. How did he die?
1 blood grenade. Plus a, tether?
Yeah, tethered up Mickey.
Blow. Yep.
So, this now going to get him closer towards the boots. I guess at least one thing down bottom. I don't know if the movement speed is going to be enough to offset this, but at least you could have like, alright, we got to kill top lane. Palos does still end up going down, so that early little bit of damage Liquid were able to do does actually come back to be a huge benefit for them.
You were saying they've got the pit to be able to stop the rundown?
Yeah, maybe pit and telekinesis. I don't know if that's going to be enough though. Because, I mean, you're going to have an IO to buff up Mickey's movement speed, and he could go like boots potential. I don't know if you need Windlace in the lane though, but yeah, we'll see.
He's going to have it stalled a little bit. They've had to spend a lot of money on regen in this early part of the game just to be able to be part of a few of those early skirmishes on Liquid. So the boot's somewhat delayed for Mickey, just so that he can get a salve and tangos out for him there. And even just not wanting the lane to push in, wanting to maximize the potential kill threat. But ends up just copping a few volleys of that Firestorm.
What about the build's going to be for Mickey as well? Like, I really have not seen this Razor in a long time. Pretty much the last time I saw it was people attempting like that Bloodstone build a while ago, so... I think that was more like an off-lane Razor build though, so... we'll see what the choice is going to be for Mickey.
I mean, my thing is, I think they just need to make sure that... You can do a lot of damage off the back of like Power Tread's BKB, but his main thing is just make sure that the Shrek and Lycan don't die when they just want to run at people, you know? So he just, I think, could get a really early BKB and play a little bit more of like a selfless game this time around. And it's something that Mickey is totally known for, you know? When the lane was set up for more of the time, it was with Koifa when he was playing with them. Like, he would say, you know what, just give me something and I'm going to play like I'm a mid laner, you know, a little bit more of that space maker.
Yeah. Planeside might be in some danger. The grenade's already been used. They've still got the Stormhammer as well to be able to close the distance. Boxes will be able to step in if required. They might be able to go back towards the Silence now. 2 creeps along with the Wolves. Boxes still got the Earth Spike as well. So yep, Abeng should be chased down and caught out by the Lotus Pool. And what a great timing as well. 3 minutes going to get. So Zai giving over some extra regen for the lane.
Harassment onto Palos and doesn't get the kill gold. Would have loved that on Zai. Once he gets that Helm of Iron Will, this lane becomes so much more easy for him to just be able to stick around in. And I mean, we talked about the potential of having a lot of those stacks as Boxy. He's actually going to be the one taking a lot of this harassment through here. Oh,
get the kill. Alright, yeah. Zai's also in a little bit of danger. Not going to be forced to use the Healing Lotus though.
As I was about to say, once he gets that Helm of Iron Will, you're freed up a little bit to make some of these stacks happen. So, obviously, Nisha, great hero at being able to make the most of that as well. But Nisha are really playing on a nice edge here. Both of them could very easily pick up a kill that could turn the tide. No supports rotating towards the mid lane for now. Like it's going to be a 1-for-1 water rune trade. Bob, I think he wants to get active as soon as he gets that infused raindrops coming out to him.
We saw last game there was a lot of emphasis on the supports, actually top lane. Boxy with the Wolves. But this is such a frustrating lane for Abeng to play in. You don't even need the Lycan really nearby with the micro from Zai. Going to be very difficult for Abeng, and going to be able to shove Palos at least away from the creeps as well, so continuing to minimize his farm. But I was going to ask, we saw last game like we saw a lot of emphasis from supports to rotate there. Do we feel like this could be a similar thing this game?
To rotate to which lane, sorry?
To the mid lane.
I could see it happening, but I mean, the thing is, like, Mickey is probably going to have an easy enough time here on his own now that he's got his boots. I think he's got power treads coming out to him, so Insania is probably one of the better ones at being able to make this movement happen. Of course, can build up stacks like he did previously towards that mid, so I think it's a possibility, but I think Liquid are happy enough just to try and get their levels split up, and unless Nisha's in like grave danger, they're fine with him just being left solo for now.
Kino? I'd be able to go back though. Mickey's got some spells up pretty shortly. A little bit hesitant though. They don't see too many of the other members on Execration. It's a pretty big wave under the tower as well though, that Mickey wants to farm.
Oh, you know, doesn't have a point in the pit.
And he's dead. Thanks gonna use telekinesis to the last second. Let's kind of stop Mickey from getting a little bit of the creeps under the tower, at least with that. Meanwhile, Palos top lane might also go down solo to Zai if he can get the Wolves in front. Palos tries to step back in, but Zai might just go for a bang next as well. He doesn't know what to do. Run or go forward. Unfortunately, a bang will choose his fate for him.
Nearly made a kill happen on Tarbing. Didn't want to pop the howl. He'll make those kills happen. The Wolves still give him a lot of the business, and they might end up getting a kill from beyond the grave. Oh, Box is the one to claim it. Of course he is. Got the power rune. She did. Not ideal if you're an Execration fan. Reaching up to level 6 on Bob, so the base to be able to make some of these plays happen. And I don't believe that was stacked up either, so Nisha just taking the one hard camp there, and they're going to scout out his movement with this ward placed up in the river, so look to back up quickly enough on King and Palos.
Oh, man,
but
Mickey's here.
Not if everyone's here.
Yeah, the boys, they want to get involved and try and continue to slow down the game. Of Palos, Mickey is going to look for the deny on Palos, but unfortunately the timing was not on the mark. And now once again, the Wolves, they have spied out, but the silencer, a bang. Where are you running? Looks like he's actually okay. Nisha's going to farm up some of the jungle instead, so... Oh, dude, he's going to shapeshift for the kill. No way. Come on, Zai. This poor silence just to live to see the light of day. And
Oh,
he will.
will?
All right, he will. Zai doesn't get the kill of the first shapeshift.
I'm interested to see where Palos goes. He's still got 5 seconds left on the TP. Is he going to use it to just quickly get back to this top lane? Because you've got a very, very big creep wave pushing in here. And Zai has been able to manipulate it so that the creeps don't meet. He wants into the tower. Potentially scout out this Palos movement as well. So important for him to get into this Mask of Madness and the God Strength and max out the Great Speed, because he has an enormous stack. I was about to say to take. It might actually be to take, as Tino, he's actually just building the stack up even further.
I mean, Liquid would definitely be aware of the stack potential. Boxy's probably going to die inside the river. They did deny the illusion room, which is at least something, but you spoke about the stacks on Execration that you want to see the Sven get. Liquid, they can invade and take that over as well, without a doubt. So Execration, they have to be pretty on point with scouting out on Liquid's positioning.
Yeah, I mean, it's 100 gold away for Sven to have it. Importantly, he didn't use the TP scroll. He's also got that Spark of Courage, so he actually already used the God Strength. Can you get a kill onto Zai? I'm not so sure.
Maybe not with the TPs. One's going to come through. They got the relocate now as well. They'd love the kill onto Palos. Oh, in 2 minds, Nisha feels like he needs to go towards the silencer. They are going to smoke, though, which I don't know if they got a glimpse of. Oh, nice scan. Looks like they are aware.
Actually, Tino taking this gigantic stack for himself. He built it up. He says, you know what, I'm going to take it instead. And it is important for him to be that beefy frontliner, right? When you consider all the heroes that you're going to have running straight at you. Gives Shanks a little bit of time to sit in that lane. Already level 6 on the Rubik, just at the 9-minute mark. So he's having a pretty alright game, and Shanks is a damn good Rubik player.
And pretty decent abilities to be able to steal this game as well. Maxed out Plasma Field that he's got. Up lane though, once again, Palos.
Wolves, man.
All the attention put onto the Sven. He is getting no breathing room at all to play this game. He tried to get the proc out of the cripple, but now with Mickey here to slow him down. Gonna be another kill for Liquid to find. And importantly, 4th death of the game for the Sven. We were mentioning this is a hero that does not play well from behind at all. And it's looking like that might be the case this game.
I mean, at least you're at the point now where Tino should be able to take this bottom tower, right? In the next, let's say 10 seconds. You won't have a tier 1 tower to be
he actually wants to fight.
They're
gonna go through the rift. Nisha, can he make it? No way, they got him. Oh my god, he almost made it, but not quick enough. They get the 2 kills. Bottom is still gonna look to try and take the fight though. The rift that's closing shortly. And with that, it's going to be a double kill for Liquid. Mickey swipes away with the life of the silencer. And now they'll be able to chase down Tino as well. Mickey is off to an incredible start. 5-0 here for the Razor. And this is Yasha already completed.
Actually did die on the other side of that twin gate. He just had too much damage at the time on him, but he still ended up dying at the end of it all. Mid tower, which is good, but Palos, you have been left here solo by your team as the
not solo anymore, but still seems like it's not going to matter as he goes down. If you don't deal with the IO, you're not going to deal with everyone else, as Bob tries to chase down Insania, who wants to relocate out. And well, he'll live, but meanwhile, Zai, who was able to munch onto Shanks on the backline as well. Should be fine, though.
Just pushing.
Should be fine. Boxy! What is that stun? They got the damage, run them out. One more right click chases him, Hadouken. Oh, he sidesteps it. They get the kill onto Boxy, but a bang, he's going to be chased down. Boxy, so close to making a crazy play.
This feels like a game of Sea Dota to me. You know, 22 kills, 11 minutes in. Just constant action all across the map. Core dying consistently. Will be pinging his buyback, threatening that it'll be the next thing to come. Well, Palace, at least he's got this bottom side of the map to have a little bit more freedom to play around with, right? Like, he's making his own stacks, he's going into the Echo Saber, and he doesn't have a tier 1 tower that the enemy team can just TP to immediately to try and consistently make kills onto it. I would have probably made that move of Tino top and Palace bottom a little bit earlier, but, I mean, there's just so much pressure that Liquid are throwing at you that you don't think of these things in the moment, you know?
Yeah, that pressure's not going to stop, though. You have Bloodstone up in a couple hundred gold for Nisha. Almost Manta on Mickey. Great Manta game. Global Silence, Root, Hit. You're almost home with the Overlord on Zai, so even though it's only a 1,000 net worth lead, like, this action, it's going to continue to break out, and then you need to be not only considering about your towers, but also Roshan as well. They could have a great lineup to be able to take an early Rosh.
Indeed, as well, just looking to deal with these freaking annoying wolves constantly making scouts around the map. He's actually finished up the Echo Saber as well on Palace, so a really quick recovery coming through from him off the back of all of these stacks built up by Shanks.
Yeah, what? Dude, he has 5 deaths and he's 30 net worth. I don't know, that's kind of crazy. So,
here we go. This is the play that I want to see them making, but I'm sure the Leshrac is the one that they would ideally like to find, but I mean, that Bloodstone now completed, so much harder for them to be able to take them out, especially with these 3 heroes. Not the highest amount of damage that they're able to output. They would take Zai happily. Yeah,
let's see if he's going to be tanky enough to relocate in with the boys. Actually, it's a shapeshift.
Shanks is following him.
There's the relocate. They're going to... Oh, no, they actually do bring them in.
I mean, you're pretty happy if you're able to just get the hell out of here, right? You've used relocate, you've used shapeshift. Get out, you don't need to fight.
I feel like they want to try and force the issue, though. Okay, we'll go through. So, yeah, like you said, though, a little bit expended out of Liquid. It is still 4 heroes from Execration top. You do have Sven farming across the map, though, so I think it's going to be his next item of choice. We'll run into Mickey. They're going to try and rift out. Knowing the relocate has already been used, it means that Mickey is completely alone. He's got a pretty goddamn big streak as well. He's going to try and TP out if they got the damage, though. Nice read from Mickey.
Had the damage just off the back of, obviously, the Sven not having the greatest time in lane. He didn't pop the God Strength for it. Would have been a big kill to be able to pick up there. You can use the static link on the Sven before he, as he was going for that run away either, but ending up getting punished enough. The big difference that I'm really seeing here is whenever Execration make a move, they might be able to get a kill or some big ultimates that get some things on cooldown, but they're not actually able to convert that into something else, you know? Like, they only have the Sven that's able to take towers or like a siege creep wave, whereas you look on Liquid, you've got a Leshrac now with 2 points in the Edict, you've got a Lycan. Enough said, he's only 200 gold away from Helm of the Overlord, and even Mickey on his Razor has been doing a lot of pushing, especially around those siege creep waves.
And everything's going to line up perfectly. Helm of the Overlord sets... Oh, Palace, actually. Look at the read from Liquid. They're going to cut off the path. Global Silence used defensively. He does have Shakes nearby as well. They're going to try and turn the niche, but all the damage gets repaired in a heartbeat. So Global God Strength used. Now they're going to be able to consider out taking some objectives as Zai and the boys are already starting to ping out mid.
Yeah, I mean, these were those timings that you were talking about, right? Now, Mickey's level 12. He's got the Manta style going straight into that BKB. Makes a ton of sense.
No.
You basically just...
Might still go. What's going to stop? Maybe a force back under the tower. At least we'll get him out of danger. They might go for a bang next, however.
Relocate? Just to slow him?
They're not going to bring him. So, yep, they'll get the kill. Not going to transfer
Not needing
Mickey.
to use too much for that either, other than the reload, right? They can just still keep going. No God Strength, no Global Silence. Those are the main areas of concern. I was essentially thinking that they might just be waiting for that Eye of the Storm to be able to make another play happen, but the lane's just not really in a position to be able to make that happen.
I'm a little surprised they're not going through top straight away. Maybe they feel like there's a lot of farm bottom. They want to take out Execration's hands, and there's potential kills they're going to get as well. With the ward up of the triangle, it's going to scout out the Rubik.
And this is always going to be the sort of area that you want to take, though, right? Like, it's pre-21 minutes, pre-Wisdom Rune spawning, potentially take away the potential to go for a Tormentor. And when you've got, like, a Rubik that has the possibility of being the one to get the shard against, like, the static link against the split earth. It feels really solid. Be able to get a quick Roche for themselves, though.
And it should be for free. Global still down for another 25. You really need that BKB if you're even going to consider about fighting for this fan. They are going to try TP in though for Execration. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't... It might not be quick enough, but...
They got Maelstrom.
They can still take this fight, though. I don't think they're going to be too worried. They will run into Mickey, which is a pretty good start. Box is going to try and do his best to counter-initiate. Mickey's kind of survivable for the moment. Not survivable enough as Aegis gets claimed. What's the call,
they
though?
use the Dark Rift nicely to be able to bring Palace up here if he really wants to, but he just wants to continue farming. They're pinging him out right now, and they'll see that the Dark Rift is laid down. Unless he takes it, they know that there's no way for him to really join unless they went super aggressive, which they don't really need to do without that Razor. I think Mickey bought out the Mithril Hammer as well before he died, so spent a lot of the unreliable gold that he had at the time. It's best to try and cut the waves as Bob. 2-0 and 4. Certainly not having an awful game by any stretch of the imagination, but not an easy game to play either.
Yeah, we haven't really felt too much of the impact out of the Ember, even though you're flawless and, like you said, got a couple kills. So you'll see when
play with either of these supports. That's the issue, right? Like he needs Shanks to steal Finger or something like that, you know?
It's not. It's an asking a lot out of poor old Shanks, but he's gonna have to pull something out of the hat. As it's time to go for Liquid. You got this Aegis, minimal net worth lead, but it doesn't matter. All the items set themselves up for a push. Should be a tier 2 for free. They're gonna try and protect it on Execration, but
offensive clip. So that backdoor protection stays.
Oh, Boxy. Let's start a little bit deep though. Fob's gonna be lacking from Liquid. They still want to take the fight nonetheless, as Mickey's going to charge at the backline. Zaya's more in combination. They want to try and target down Tino. They don't have the damage just yet to be able to secure the kill, and Palos is here to try and put a stamp on this fight as well, but Palos, he just doesn't have the items nor the damage to turn it back around. A global silence, it's not enough to keep Bob alive, and Awabeng as well, caught out on the low ground. Zap away his health, poor Boxy. No messing around, wants to use his first ultimate of the game, get a charge and get a kill as well.
Use the shapeshift, but cooldown really just isn't that long anymore that it's going to be all too impactful. Zai coming back, just looking to pick up a little bit more farm for himself. He's even
still on to 2. Nisha will be rewarded with the kill. Shanks, I'm pretty cute with that. Stuns back up. He should be okay. Yeah, he's gonna live.
Even just having that Aghanim Shard on the Lycan, now you're just going to have lanes constantly shoving in naturally. Wasn't quite in time for the 20-minute wave, so no wolves for that one there. But again, these supports don't deal with split push very well, and I feel like that's exactly how Liquid are just going to want to play this one. How long have they got left on the Aegis? Another 2 minutes. Any time. Should be able to get all out of towers by that point.
Got kind of lucky with the Tormentor Shard as well. Io has that one. Of course, Overcharge, very, very silly with the less track. I mean, even for the Razor is decent. Is it spell or magic damage, actually?
For who?
Spell and spell life. Yes, I mean, that's pretty good for the Razor as well. Either Storm and Plasma Field if you are ever tethering him, but...
Look at Nisha, he's even body blocking the siege creep in that mid lane. Just making sure that it's... Well, they're trying to make it not be the first creep that ended up hitting the tower so it could get some free hits in, but... Good job being able to quickly clear it out, but you just see the power of the Lesh. And you're backing him up. Mech, Arcane Ring, Aegis, Bloodstone, he's got it all.
Let's see though. I mean, Pulse is about to have enough gold for the blink. He's going to have to get an incredible Stormhammer onto multiple heroes though. They're going to be able to take the fight. And look at this smoke as well from Liquid. Maybe trying to sweep to bottom. They'll get a glimpse of Palos in the lane. So you know, they might not be aware of this on Execration, thinking that some more members are playing behind Nisha's Lesh.
the deny off, and they smoked up as soon as he beat back there, so they might be able to find a quick pick-off. Gonna need to be on Insania.
It's a great start if they can get rid of the IO. Nisha's going to try and do whatever he can to act as a bodyguard. Palace gets a jump in his moment. Instant buyback out of the IO. They recognize how important it is for him to be involved inside the team fight. A little bit messy out of Liquid. Mickey pops the early BKB. They're going to try and target down Palace. Palace turns, though. Looks to stand strong. They'll be able to catch the line out in the tree line. Zai's going to look to try and help out as well, but now with the BKBs on Kuda. Nice man to dodge Mickey. Oh, my lord. All right, Palace now. He's doing whatever he can, but it looks like it's not going to be enough. They'll chase him down, and meanwhile, Nisha, he soaked up all the damage to the southern side. That dealt with the first life, but that is all they will get as Mickey considering about going for a bang up at the tier 3 tower.
I mean, the whole team just went away from the span and focused on the Lesh, who had about 15 seconds left on the Aegis anyway, so Nisha kind of wanted to die at that point. He was like, all right, give me full mana, give me full HP. And it allowed them to just move away, keep the span away, get the kill onto him, and couldn't have asked for a much better fight to start with on that span, but I mean, it was, you're on a timer when you're playing this. You basically got that god strength to be able to play around, and just weren't able to do it. Another great spell stolen in the Split Earth here on Shank. He's actually got the Aghanim Shard purchased up as well, so it makes the high ground push a little bit more difficult, but you can just let the creep do the work. Actually really like that he didn't get greedy and go for the Blink Dagger first on the Rubik. I think the Aghanim Shard is just way too much value for him to be picking up here, specifically against the Leshrac, but of course just being able to toss people back when they do get gone on, incredibly useful skill to have.
Wonder if he just keeps Split Earth for the game now.
Oh. Right.
She'll see. I mean, now for Liquid at least, you're not playing with the Ages, so see how confident they're still going to feel without this. I imagine very confident. 6,000 lead. So they don't have the greatest vision kind of towards the right side of the map where currently Execration are hauled up and still getting a decent chunk of farm.
I mean, if Bob's able to get into this Lincoln, I actually give them a decent shot of being able to take a couple of successful team fights, right? Like, if you can bait out like an inopportune use of the shapeshift, you can just look to fight on your terms when Liquid don't have their full strength to be able to come at you. That's an incredibly useful tool to be able to have. And he's also reached up onto the level 15, so no talent put in just yet. Just wanted to make sure that he was able to get full points in all skills at this stage. Should be the Cornucopia finish now. Even bringing in the Chrysalis on Palace.
I was going to say, hang on a second, why has he got a Chrysalis? What happened there with his gold? But said, brings it in. They've got a pretty decent ward as well that scouts out Mickey and Insania.
Okay. The Wolf scouted it again. Just gotta get rid of this. Zai plays it too well.
Mickey gets a jump. Is he going to be able to activate the BKB? Mickey can shrug off the initiation. They want to go back in now. Palace is in some danger. Stolen a little bit too much damage. A decent chunk was forced out from either side, though, so they want to go there. Liquid
is forced out on Execration.
And yeah, it looks like Liquid, they feel the same as well. They know how truly strong they are, and they're looking to try and catch up on the retreat. There's two fronts getting jumped simultaneously. They'll find the silencer on the high ground, and they'll be able to chase down Shanks as well. Both supports current casualty of war. Bob's Lincoln's gonna get popped, gonna be cautious. Where is Boxy to be able to help out? Need some vision for the Ember. Boxy's gonna be able to find it. No one else is really nearby though. Boxy like, brothers? They want the buildings instead, and they should be able to find them as well.
Oh. CD. Bob's trying to do it all.
He's currently doing that. They should be there fast enough. Maybe one more right click. Oh, they didn't get it. No. And he's going back. Like you said, Bob's doing it all. He pushes them away from that push. So and now they're getting surrounded as well.
should be able to get away.
Are scanning.
They're split up enough. Nice wards being placed down as well by Insania after relocate back in, just to scout out any more potential smokes that don't get picked up by one of Zyve's wolves.
They do see Mickey farming. How quick he's going to be on the fingers.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, and they're starting to swing on over as well. Once again, BKB activated. Now what's the call? Because they're going to be able to cut off the retreat. The only angle to escape is blocked thanks to Zai and Nisha and Execration. I mean, that was a Hail Mary play. And it's going to be cut short. Abeng, chase down. You had to go for it at this stage of the game. You got crazy with it. Unfortunately, the probability of it working was not very high, but if it paid off, it would have been a big kill. But now, 3 heroes are down, and your buildings are soon to be under siege.
Yeah, the one hero capable of stopping that push is still alive in the Underlord, but solo, I'm not sure exactly what Tino's going to be able to do. You'd have to use the BKBs, I suppose.
I mean, they might just kill him.
Pit of Balance is going to be able to do enough. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think they need to. Not enough damage just coming through passively with the Edict. You don't have to worry about it. Another 20 seconds for that spin.
No BKB when he's back up, though. In some danger. Nice relocate timing. Bob tries to make the attempt to jump over the top.
Hang around as well. They don't want to give this up. They want to keep the pressure up. 14k net worth lead. Be able to close it out. Then being alive is, of course, going to be a point of concern as they go for a smoke and a different wraparound. They can see the spend went down to the bottom side, so they would have had to use that TP for it. I wonder if that leads them to potentially look for a play up towards the top side of the map, but they'll be rewarded with Roche if they just check it. Even having a Alpha Wolf dominated by Zai gives them plenty of damage to be able to take this one out in quick fashion. Full 5-man smoke, but look at this.
This is interesting.
It's a really interesting spot for it.
Yeah,
Boxy
that
saw
it
them
is.
use the Lotus Pool.
Great positioning out of Boxy. And now the smoke. There's one attempt with the wraparound. They've been able to get that information, and now it's looking very awkward for Execration. Palace gets a pretty decent jump on Desire, but the instant Halbert, now they'll turn as well, getting rid of the war cry. They're going to use the global silence offensively, but it will not matter. Palace goes down, and now where is the follow-up damage from Execration? Tino will not escape, and up with the supports. They'll be chased down inside the tree line. It was a last-ditch attempt from Execration, but instantly that was thwarted, and now Bob as well. Only one more remnant for him to work with. It could be a long chase down for them. I mean, Blink's going to be up in a couple of seconds from Boxy. He's going to look for the TP out, but Boxy stops into the buzzer, and they're just going for the jugular. They don't give a damn about Roche. They know this game can potentially be over. There's some buybacks out of Execration. It does not matter if they use them. G's are dropped, and Execration, they're going to start off 0-4 in the plains for Riyadh Masters.
It kind of feels like they're just putting themselves in a really rough spot in each one of these games. You know, they had the potential to have that response with the second pick this time around, and you know Liquid like to run at you, and you know they've opened with an IR Leshrac, and they just went for, once again, a really, really passive-ish style support. Like Bob, we were saying, was like 2-0 and 4. He said we haven't really held this impact. A lot of that is on the back of just not being able to have these supports, have the damage, to be able to confirm a lot of the things, right? So it just feels like the Execration draft didn't really gel, and they were reactionary without looking at the big picture.
They're gonna have to see the big picture pretty shortly, though, man. This is who you got to go up against now. What, they verse TSM, right? You verse Liquid, so you got Asta, Entity, MVP still. So still, yeah, there's maps to be able to take, but
all right. Do you think there's a world where they can go 0-10 and then still win their decider match and progress forward?
I mean, sure, there is a world. I don't like what universe
world?
that's in is potentially super far away, and I don't know. We think parallel universes are a thing, so I feel for the brothers, I feel for the Sea Boys, but something is not clicking.
No. And it feels like they're making the same mistakes that they've been making all season, which is the frustrating part, because we know what these guys are capable of. You know, we've seen them be able to take it to a lot of these teams. Like a big portion of this roster was part of that roster that made really good inroads at the Animajor just about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
It was when the wild card system was still in play, but they were taking games off people that they really weren't expected to, and they seem like a shadow of what they used to be.
Yeah, which I really wonder what potentially some of the key issues are at the moment for Execration. I mean, a lot of it is able to start off the back of the draft. That is probably one thing that is just easier to look at, but where do you go from there? Is it the vocal person behind the scenes? Is there a clash with ideas? What is going on? I mean, it's still like I do still want to say like there is plenty of time for them to be able to work it out, but you got 3 series left. You need to, and at least you're not eliminated. That is still like, at least you are not eliminated. There's a potential, like you said, you go 0-10, and you might even just win that playing game, and then you could join all the teams in the group stage as well. But at least at the moment, things are not looking good for Execration.
No, they're not. And we wish the best for the boys. I know there's a lot of people cheering for them here in Southeast Asia. They got a lot of hard competition to go up against, though. So it hasn't been able to work against NA, hasn't worked against Western Europe. But like you said, they've got some China, they've got some Eastern Europe to come. So we'll see if they fare any better in the coming days.
Yeah, we'll see indeed. Hopefully they are able to, but at least for us in our second series, we're going to be done here. But we've still got more Dota, a lot more Dota as well. Liquid will continue to be on this stream. They got a new opponent. It's going to be Virtus Pro. Let's see if they're going to have the similar fate against some of the other teams, or if Virtus Pro can maybe topple one of the giants in Western Europe. We'll find out after the quick break.